Okay, Rams, tonight's homework is page 13 and 14. They're in your notes. It is over multiplying decimals. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to start at is up here, and we're going to look for patterns. Okay, so in our patterns, we want to know, what do you notice up here in this first problem? All right, well, a couple of things. One is that I have one place after the decimal. It looks like my decimal comes straight down, but it does not. Okay, I have one place after the decimal there and one decimal place here. In this problem, I have one decimal place right here and just one right here. This one, I have two decimal places, and then two right here, two digits that are after the decimal. Okay, this one has 1, 2, 3 decimal places, and 1, 2, 3 decimal places here. That's the rule for multiplying decimals. You just count the decimal places. You multiply just like normal, and when you get your answer, you count the number of places that are after the decimals in your entire problem, and then put that many for your answer. Now, estimation also really helps, because 3 times 2 would be 6. So my answer couldn't be a 74 or a 748. Okay, so next we're going to jump right down here and do some practice with just identifying where the decimal goes. So right here I have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Okay, 4 times 700, so that's going to be a really tiny number, less than 1 whole. Okay, this is 6 and something times 23. Well, I know that 6 times 25 is 150. Okay, 6 quarters would be $1.50, right? So 1, 2 decimal places, 1, 2 decimal places, and look at that. 141 is close to 150. All right, 14 times 5. I think this one has actually some decimal places here. I think this one is off, actually, because 15 times 5 is 75. I think this one has a typo. Sorry. Ignore that one. Okay, right here, 7,212 times 1/10. Well, that's basically multiplying by 10, right? I mean, dividing by 10, so 1 decimal place over. So 721 is 1/10 of 7,212. Okay, this has 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3 decimal places. All right, this one right here, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 5 times 1 is 6, and 6 is pretty close to 7. All right, so all we did was identify where the decimal goes. So we're going to practice a couple of problems here, okay? Today in the cafeteria, 17 students bought pizza for $2.25, and 34 students bought French fries for $1.50. How much money was spent on fries and pizza? So rephrase the question in your own words. So how could I reword that question? What is the total money or total amount of money spent? Okay. All right, my estimation. All right, so 17 bought pizza for $2.25. So let's say 17 times 2 is 34. Oh, look. And then 34 students bought pizza for $1.50. Well, I rounded that one down, so I'm going to round this one up. So I want to say 34 times 2 is 68. And if I add that up, maybe around $102, okay? So 17 students bought pizza for $2.25. Here's my picture. So it's $2.25, there's my pizza there, times 17. And then French fries. Oh, how do I draw French fries? Just like little sticks. And maybe a little blob of ketchup. So these are $1.50, but 34 students bought those. Okay, I want to know the total amount. So I'm going to do my solving here. This is where the money goes, okay? So $2.25 times 17. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 3 is 17, and carry the 1. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So I add a 0 because I'm in the tens place now. So 1 times 5, 1 times 2, 1 times 2. Okay, it is not going to be $3,825. But I have 2 decimal places here. So I have 2 decimal places. So it's 38.25. Look, we were pretty close. 38.25. Okay? Now I'm going to multiply $1.50 times 34. We're multiplying our decimals here. 4 times 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. I have a 0 because I'm in the tens place. Okay? But now 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. And I'm going to add these up. Okay, so it's not $5,100 for French fries, but there are 2 decimal places, so I have $51. Well, I said 68, but I knew I was estimating over because my original price was $1.50 and I had guessed $2, okay? So now my solving here is I need the total amount of money spent. So I had $38.25 on pizza and $51 on French fries, and add them together. $89.25. Okay? So it's a lot of steps, but it's nothing you can't handle. All right, Raul's car averages 17.3 miles per gallon of gasoline. How many miles can he drive if he fills it with 10.5 gallons? So we want to know how many miles can he drive on 10.5 gallons? Okay, so I want you to answer this one. Okay, you're going to answer this one on your own. This is a multiplication problem also, because every gallon is 17.3 miles, but you have 10.5 gallons. Okay, all right, we're not done yet. We have 2 pages. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the rules for dividing decimals real fast, okay? So what patterns do you notice? When I have a decimal here, it goes straight up there. If there is a decimal in my dividend right here, it goes straight above there. And what is the dividend? The dividend is the number right inside your little house here, okay? As long as there's no decimal out there, you just take the decimal that's inside here and move it right up, okay? But if there is a decimal in that divisor, what you have to do is move it over. You can't have a decimal there. So we move it over 1. And if I move that one place, I have to move this one place. And it's now here, so move it up there. Okay? So the rules say no decimal in the divisor. Okay? So it says I cannot have a decimal in my divisor. If I do, I have to move it over. However many places I move that number in the decimal of the dividend, I have to move the divisor the same amount. Okay, basically I'm multiplying by 10 or by 100 when I'm moving those decimals, okay? All right, so my rules we're going to apply right here for this problem. Remember, the first number that you always read is the one that goes in the house. So what I have is 64.8 divided by 0.04. Okay, so I know my rule is no decimal out here in my divisor. So move it over 1, 2 places. That's what it took to get me a whole number. So move this one 1, 2 places. I'm going to add a 0. So now I'm going to rewrite it just to make it a little neater. What I'm really going to have now is 6,480 divided by 4. I have no decimal here now, it's just out there. So that's a normal division. 4 times 1 is 4, and now subtract and get a 2. I bring down the 4. 4 times 6 is 24, and I subtract and get a 0 and bring down my 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Now subtract and get a 0. Now I'm not done. Just because I have no remainders left, I still have a digit here that I haven't used. So 4 goes into 0 times. And I subtract and get 0. So this answer is 1,620. okay? Write it down here, okay? 8.496, or 8 and 496 thousandths divided by, whoa, it's blurry, sorry, 2 and 4/10. Okay, no decimal here, so I have to move it over and move it over 1. That means it's right here and it goes straight above. Okay, so I have 84 and 96 100ths divided by 24 now. Okay, because my decimal is no longer here. I had to move it over 1 when I moved that one place. So 24 does not go into 8, but it goes into 84 3 times. 24 times 3 is 72. So I'm going to get a 1 and a 2 and a 9. 24 times 5 is 120. And I'm going to get a 9 and a 6. 24 times 4 is 96. So my answer is 3 and 54 100ths. Okay, next. All right, you have a pitcher, and this is your pitcher, that holds 39.3 ounces of lemonade. And you're going to pour glasses, and each glass holds 8.8 ounces. How many glasses can you completely fill? Can you completely fill? That's a very important word, because is the part of a glass full? No. Okay, so the total amount divided by how I'm grouping it. Okay, so now I move that decimal over 1, and I move that decimal over 1. So I'm really going to end up with 393 divided by 88. Well, 8 doesn't go into 3, and it doesn't go into 39, but it goes into 393, I'm going to guess 4 times, because 80 goes into each 100 one time. So I'm going to go right over here and do 88 times 4. 4 times 8 is 12. 4 times 8 is 32, I'm sorry. And then 32 plus 3 is 36. Oh, wait, 35, sorry. So 88 times 4 would be 352. And I'm going to end up with a 1 and a 4. Now I bring down, add another 0. Now is when you add that 0 and keep going. Okay, I don't need a decimal down here. I just leave it up there at the top. So 88 goes into 410. I'm still going to say that's probably another 4 times. 88 times 4 was 352. So when I subtract here, I have 10. And I'm going to have a 10 again and a 3. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 minus 5 is 5. All right, so I'm going to get one more decimal place. Now, sometimes you're going to have numbers that divide and go on a long time. You don't have to keep going past 2 decimal places, okay? So I'm going to say 88 times 5 right there. 88 times 5 is 40 and 44. Oh, that might be too high. I mean, probably a 6. All right, so probably a 46 right there. But I'm about to run out of time on my timer, so I've got to stop right there. But you're going to have a few more questions to answer and practice this, okay? Make for sure you get all your questions answered so we can begin our project, and bring your notes to class with you.